Welcome to MFAA On Air.
Hi, welcome to MFAA TV. Today I'd like to introduce to you Bridget Sacker, who's the Chief Commercial Officer of Genworth, to talk about Genworth's Streets Ahead consumer sentiment research. And could you tell us a little bit about the research and what led Genworth to start this research in the first place?
Thanks, Phil. Genworth has been in the Australian market for nearly 50 years, and over that time we have collected economic and mortgage data. But in 2007 we actually identified a gap, and we said to ourselves that there is consumer data that we could actually obtain that will help us overlay our data with what consumer sentiment's all about.
And you've just completed some research this year. Can you outline to our members just what are the key insights?
I can highlight three key findings. The first one is that the home buyer confidence index dropped by 5.1%. And the reason for that is people are concerned about job security, that it is still a buyer's market. In actual fact, 47% said it's a good time to buy. We're
seeing people confident, 1 in 2 people still think it's a good time to buy. Yet on the other hand, we're seeing the research showing that people are concerned about the future. Does the research give any insight as to why they would be thinking that way?
The concern that we saw that the consumers had was around underemployment, around the hours worked. As consumers are in the psychic of deleveraging, paying out their liabilities, saving as much as they can. And they are looking at continuing to meet these higher repayments, not necessarily adjusting for interest rate reductions.
And you think that insecurity relates to what's going on around the world? Was there any indication?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is definitely global instability. We're seeing what's happened in Cyprus, that continues around Europe, and also around the local market in Australia. There are many industries at the moment still under pressure.
What do you think are the key messages in there that brokers can take away in understanding consumer sentiment?
Firstly, I think the report gives you a good profile of what the first home buyers are feeling. 14.9% of consumers last year were actually first home buyers. So that is probably one of its lowest figures we've seen in the past. When a borrower is actually struggling, 45% of those borrowers that are struggling are going and talking to their lender about renegotiating their mortgage conditions, and 16% are going to a broker. So wherever possible, if the broker can educate the consumer, the borrower, or the existing borrower, that there are options for them if they are struggling.
What do you think brokers could be doing more of?
I think continue doing what they're doing and continue getting the support from all the key stakeholders in the industry to make sure that they continue supporting the consumers in the Australian market.
If members want to dig further into the research, where can they access that document?
We'd love you to go to www.genworth.com.au/streets ahead.
Members, I think you'll agree that that's been wonderful research, and you can also have access to the research on the MFAA website.
You've been watching MFAA On Air.